What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm still organizing the garage here. We're still talking about these organizers. I just did a video on this one 3 weeks ago. As you can see, there's another. Um, so if you haven't seen that video, this organizer over here is all consumables. So prior to having this stuff was all over the garage. It would take me 2 hours just to find any one of these things. So anything that's a consumable, stuff that gets used up and needs to get replaced regularly, is in here. Solder, glue sticks, staples, popsicle sticks. Added some heat shrink since the last video. Markers, batteries, things like that. So then I started digging through my mechanics toolbox, and I started realizing that there's a lot of stuff in there that is not mechanic related. So there's a ton of these drill bits in there. I don't really use these when I work on cars. Even interior work, I use hand screwdrivers so I don't break anything. Just all kinds of screwdriver bits. There's even more in here. There's never ending. I found so many of them. So I want to have a place to have everything, and I want to have everything in one place. I'm just spending so much time looking for things and being unorganized. So what I talked about with this one is it comes with 16 drawers, but it only comes with 8 of these dividers. So if you order one of these, the dividers come on the back here. I got confused at first. I didn't see any dividers, and then this doesn't even have instructions, so I just happened to turn it around and see that these were attached like this. And there's 4 on top, 4 on bottom. Of course, there's 16 drawers. So what if you need more dividers? What if you need 16 dividers? So over here, I talked about in that video, I have these larger organizers over here that I've had for 25 years. And that's all my nuts and bolts. Also consumables, but this is stuff that I use daily. That's why it's here. So I'm not always digging around for it. I spent a lot of COVID lockdown time organizing some of this stuff, and recently I've reorganized this and organized all my nuts. But the problem with these ones is because it's been so long, 25 years, the dividers for, put the camera down, I don't know what I'm doing. The dividers have disappeared for these ones, so I started making them out of this plastic from some blown molded cases, like, drill bits and stuff come in. So then I've had that one for 3 weeks, and then I just ordered this one 2 days ago. This one showed up. And sorry, tripod issues. So when I started putting stuff in this one, I realized I really wanted all of the dividers, and I do have a couple left over from this one. I didn't use them all, but I want more dividers. And I was sitting here thinking, how am I going to do these dividers? So I don't know why, but I always forget that I own a 3D printer. I don't know why. The last night I'm like, wait a minute, I own a 3D printer. What am I doing? So I just went in real fast and just printed these. I mean, it's just simple. It's flat. I mean, you have to use a program. I use Tinkercad. Basically, design it in Tinkercad. And I didn't do all these little fancy, fins or whatever these are, and this side profile. It doesn't matter. I just measured it. It's like an inch and a quarter by 2 inches. But on a 3D printer, everything's in millimeters, so it's like 50 millimeter by 60 millimeter, something like that. 63 millimeter, and then it's 2 millimeters thick. So the first one, I had a failure. I don't think I brought it. I did have my first one I printed was kind of a failure. It was too thick, it wouldn't fit. So I had to go back and make adjustments. Then this was my second one, and it was too long. So I just kept kind of cutting it until it fit in here like that. And then once I figured it out, then I went back, and even though I had this to measure, 3D printing is kind of weird. Sometimes everything's not as accurate, especially when it's in millimeters and you got point this and point that. So I was able to go back and remeasure this after I got it to fit. So one of the channels I watch is I Like to Make Stuff. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? So Bob over there, lately he's been talking about using 3D printers to solve problems in your shop. And you're probably saying, I don't have a 3D printer. And I didn't either until this summer will be 3 years. During COVID. I decided to get one because I wanted to make a lot of Star Wars stuff. I have a lot of Mandalorian helmets that I've made. That was the whole reason why I got it. And my brain is always on 3D printing helmets and other Star Wars stuffs. And I never stopped to think that I could use it to solve this issue, which I need more dividers. So I printed a whole stack of 16 here. I probably won't even need them all, but I have them, and now I'm going to go and print some for this one. These don't quite fit in here, mostly because they would be the correct width, but the slots here don't stick out as far as the slots on that one, so they're just a little bit, their thickness is correct. They just need to be a little bit wider. So, but I'm going to print up a ton of these because that's been the big issue with my big dividers over there, is no dividers, and it's been annoying, and that's why I started cutting some out of plastic before I realized I have a 3D printer. If you want to get into 3D printing, I highly recommend it. It's so inexpensive now. It's not what it used to be. You can get one for $100. I have the Creality Ender 3 Pro. I did a video on it a while ago. I can put a link to that video if you're interested. But I've been printing nonstop on that thing for like 3 years. It's still going. I did have to change a few parts here and there, which is just wear items. But yeah, filament, I get it for used to print on the white filament, which is the very basic stuff. But this gray is the PLA Plus. And I get it for, the price fluctuates $18 to $23 on Amazon, depending on the day of the week. And I'm lucky I have an Amazon warehouse literally outside my neighborhood. It's just a mile down the road, so I can order stuff and have it within 2 hours. That I ordered late, like 3 p.m., and by 5 p.m. I had it because I decided I just wanted another one. And then sometimes I'm doing 3D print projects and I run low on filament, and I just put in an order and I have it. So it's good and bad, I guess, depending on how you look at it. I try not to order stuff from Amazon, but when I get in a bind, I use it to my advantage, I guess. So yeah, so the organization continues. I need to get this all cleaned up so I can do some more review videos for you guys. But this has really been my main focus. So I did put a link to that organizer in the last video. I highly recommend getting it. If you have to organize anything, you know, craft stuff, beads, these things they're solid. They're decent for the price fluctuates on these too. So that one I paid 17, I think, and that one was like 24. So again, you know, Amazon, you know, prices fluctuate depending on the day of the week. So it's whatever. So I actually talked about in the video too how I used to hate these organizers. The big ones over there, like I've had like 25 years, and probably 10 of those they were empty, because I always kind of hated them. But now I realize I like them because everything's within reach: nuts, bolts, washers, screws, everything. So having them over here made sense, because this is stuff I grab for every day. If you grab for something every day and you spend 2 hours like me looking for it, organize it in these. You won't be disappointed. So yeah, so everything in here is just, it's just all small stuff. you know, like I said, drill bits and some router bits, flashlights, valve core tools, X-Acto blades, and I'm sure this is going to change. You've got some knives in here, Kershaw knives. I've done many videos on. I decided to throw those in there just for right now. It's a work in progress, so all of my bit adapters in there. So I'm getting through it. And yeah, that's it. So I highly recommend these. Buy them. They're awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next video.